Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and most importantly, wherever you may be across the globe, happy International Workers' Day. This is to every dreamer, every doer, and every difference maker watching me right now. Whether you're a senior leader in a corner office, a team member on the front lines, an emerging leader finding your voice, a government official shaping policy, or a woman that is holding it down from the bottom of the ladder to the boardroom, today is your day. From Lagos to London, from Johannesburg to Jakarta, from Abuja to Accra to Atlanta, today we pause. We pause to honor the human force that powers every economy, that human force that powers every enterprise, every village, and every vision. That human force is you, the worker. I do not stand before you today simply as a speaker. I come as one who has coached executives on 5 continents. From Lagos to London, Nairobi to New York, I've sat in boardrooms where empires were being restructured, and I've listened, really listened to the hearts of workers who quietly hold those empires together. Because today, this day, is not just a public holiday. Today is not just a hashtag, not just about a keynote. Today is a mirror. Today is a reminder. Today is a reckoning for you. And this is a love letter. My love letter to you, to the hands building tomorrow. Even when you were not paid as much as you deserve, even when you are not praised as much as you contributed, even when you are not protected as much as required, this is my love letter to you. And let's take a step back in history. Long before tech hubs and smart cities, before digital banks and 5G towers, there were hands. Black hands, brown hands, dusty hands, hands that built pyramids, that cleared cocoa farms, hands that wove kente cloth all across the continent. Before algorithms, before skyscrapers, there was sweat, there was soil, and there were the unsung workers of Africa. They laid the foundations of Lagos, Dakar, Nairobi. Our ancestors built kingdoms like Mali and Shanghai. They created thriving trade routes from Timbuktu to Cairo. They carried goods on their backs and dignity in their spirit. And today, those hands now type codes in Ibadan. They operate equipment in Addis Ababa. They deliver packages in Cape Town, teach students in Jos, serve as Igba boy in Alaba Market. They are the market women in Eko Idumota. They are nursing children in Makurdi, in Mombasa, and beyond. They are the mechanics in Ladipo, the plumber, the hairdresser, the electrician, the bricklayers, and other artisans who are doing an incredible job of supporting their families with the work that they do and contributing to the economy of their nations where they are. I salute you all today. And these are not just occupations, they are the arteries of our economy. Consider Mrs. Onokwite Agbeduta Beauty, who after the loss of her husband took the wheel as an interstate bus driver. Through sheer determination, she educated all her children, with her youngest now serving in NYSC in Nigeria. Think of Jimo navigating the bustling streets of Lagos, who despite economic hardship ensures his children's education remains uninterrupted. Let us reflect on Emmanuel Elu, whose act of returning a forgotten bag containing a substantial sum exemplifies the integrity and honesty that often go unnoticed. Their hands are rough, but their children's lives are smooth, and that is all these workers wanted. That is success. That is nation building, and that is African excellence. Let's talk about women who do it all with little recognition. Our sisters, our mothers, our colleagues, our board chairs, our nation builders, our backbone. In Africa, women make up to 60% of the informal workforce, yet they own less than 15% of the land they till. They sell the food, but they often eat last. Globally, only 32% of leadership positions are held by women, and even fewer are Black, African, or from the global south. In 2025, only 15% of CEOs in Africa are women, yet these women lead home, they lead businesses, they lead miracles with no HR department to clap for them. In Nigeria and across Africa, women lead banks, they lead ministry, they lead media empire, they lead tech startup, and they lead the entire household. As a coach, I've sat with women leaders who cry after meeting, not because they are weak or weary, but because they know that the world can do better. These women are doing tremendous work despite the socioeconomic limitations around them all across the continent. I know all around us, we erroneously think when a man is assertive, is decisive, but when a woman is assertive, she's difficult. That is so wrong. One Nigerian executive, let's call her name Ada, told me that, "Coach, if I'm quiet, they say I lack vision. If I speak boldly, they say I'm angry." And then she asked, "Dr. Abiola Salabi, all I want is to lead. When will I get the time to just lead?" To every woman going through this, I see you, I understand you, and more importantly, don't hide under the table, because the world needs to see you. The story of womanhood reflects histories of resistance, resilience, quiet tears, and some exemplary women who are delivering excellence. Consider Mo Abudu, the media mogul behind Ebony Life. We call her Africa's Oprah. But what they forgot is she didn't inherit a network, she built one. She created space for African stories in global media while dealing with every quote from some naysayers who gave her the right. They whispered that behind her. But she is dogged and focused. Spoiler alert, she gave herself the right, no matter who is asking for that right. And then let us consider Abike Dabiri-Erewa, a broadcaster turned policymaker, now the chairperson of the Nigerians in Diaspora Commission. She paved her own lane, from covering stories on TV to becoming the story. She is a woman navigating Nigeria's complex global reputation with dignity, diplomacy, and grit. Think about Dr. Mosun Bello Olusoga, a trailblazer in Nigeria's banking industry. She became the first female executive director at Guarantee Trust Bank and later served as the chairperson of Access Bank PLC, breaking barriers in a male-dominated field. Despite her achievements, she once shared that there were instances where, despite being equally qualified, promotions would go to men. The rationale? They said, oh, because they think the man has more responsibilities and it's not yet her time. But despite all of that, she persevered. She not only led major financial institutions, but she also founded the City of Knowledge Academy in Ijebu-Ode that is nurturing the next generation of leaders today. Think of Justice Amina Augie. Her journey to the pinnacle of Nigeria's judiciary was not without formidable challenges. As a northern Nigerian woman pursuing a career in law during an era when female professionals were scarce, she had to confront deep-rooted cultural biases and societal expectations that often sought to limit women to domestic roles. She was undeterred, forged ahead with resilience, proving that intellect and determination could defy convention. Throughout her judicial career, she navigated a system often fraught with political pressure, gender bias. Her unwavering commitment to fairness, ethics made her to rise above her peers. Her story is one of grace under pressure. She not only broke through professional limitations, but also became a mentor to countless women across the legal profession. Consider Professor Dana Bond, the first woman to serve as Dean of the Faculty of the United States Air Force Academy. She has been instrumental in shaping leadership programs and advocating for diversity and inclusion within the military and academic institutions. Now a senior advisor in Belfast Center for Science and International Affairs in Harvard University. And there is another lady, Lady Maiden Alex Ivu, the publisher of The Guardian, widow of Dr. Alex Ivu. Instead of fading into the background, she led one of Nigeria's most respected media houses as the only woman in the room. During some of the country's most turbulent years, she balanced mourning with management. She turned legacy into leadership. And finally, consider Dr. Maki Idowu, the CEO of Express Payment Solutions, a fintech leader in a world that barely believed women understood numbers. She didn't just understand the math, she rewrote the formula. She's now mentoring the next generation of women who say, if there is no seat for me at the table, I'll bring my own chair and a whiteboard to the table. These women have navigated challenges. They have broken glass ceilings and paved the way for future generations. Their stories remind us that while progress has been made, the journey towards equality and recognition continues. So let us stop measuring success only by KPIs. Let us include emotional labor, invisible caregiving, and the energy it takes to explain why a joke is not funny. This May Day, we salute the women who lead in high heels, hijabs, and in hospital scrubs, and who haven't had a full night's sleep since they embarked on the journey of greatness. Now to our young people, to the gig worker, the young dreamer, the African hustler, I see you. The rise of remote work, gig platforms, and social media entrepreneurs has created a generation of highly creative, yet highly insecure workers, our Gen Z warriors. I'm privileged to serve and mentor many of them. The African dreamers designing tomorrow from their bedrooms in Enugu, in Kigali, in Kisumu. They don't want pity, they want purpose, not job titles, but they want relevance. These young people will design your logo, run your campaign, write your entire marketing strategy, then get paid in, wait for it, in visibility. Sarita, a 26-year-old illustrator, once told me, Coach, brands love my work, but they offer me exposure. I can't eat exposure. I can't pay my rent with exposure. The same goes for Neka. The Neka in Port Harcourt. She codes by candlelight because NEPA has failed her, but her passion has not failed her. But let's face the truth. Most young workers, most gig workers, from delivery riders to freelancers, they have no safety net. They have no pensions. They have no paid leaves. They have no protection. And it is just unfair and it's unsustainable. Meanwhile, unions, once the guardians of the worker, are now ghosts in many parts of Africa. Our workers are still protesting, but often their placards are met with tear gas. Their pain is politicized. And let me be clear, we don't need to return to the past, but we need a future that does not forget its roots. Now, let us talk about something that still breaks my heart. Remember 2020, during COVID-19, healthcare workers showed up every day across Nigeria, Ghana, South Africa, everywhere in the continent, with no hazard pay, wearing plastic bags for their personal protective equipment. They were sleeping on floors, saving lives, with just love. They did it for love of their community, for love of their people, and for love of their country. We clapped for them. We called them heroes. We posted hashtags. Then we cut their pay. And we forgot their names. Then many of us just moved on. Over 17,000 healthcare workers died globally during the pandemic. Many of their families are still fighting for compensation till date. One nurse's daughter in Abuja said to me, "Coach, my mother died saving strangers. The hospital said thank you, and then nothing. They forgot about us." This, my friends, is emotional debt. It is not a budget issue. It is a moral issue. This is not just incompetence. It is injustice. And we cannot extract sacrifice and then offer silence when it counts the most. A nation that forgets its workers will one day forget how to build, and that nation will crumble. Let's zoom into the boardroom, to the boss, the leader, or I call them burnt out human beings. Not all pain wears uniforms. Some wear suits and carry stress like a second phone. I coach chief executive officers who close million-dollar deals but still feel empty. I've had chief human resources officers tell me, "Coach, I spend all day driving people's performance and their well-being, but nobody checks if I am okay." One chief operating officer confessed to me. He says, "Coach, I haven't had a restful weekend in 6 years. I love my team, but I'm exhausted." Leadership these days is often about pretending to be strong while privately falling apart. So let me say this clearly to all senior executives, whether you are male or female. Please note, vulnerability is not weakness. It is wisdom. It is the foundation of sustainable leadership. What if we measured compassion and not just conversions? What if we rewarded empathy and not just efficiency? The challenge is we reward strategy, but we ignore suffering. We value KPIs over humanity. These days, leadership is 10% vision and 90% replying to emails you never asked for. Here's the truth. Leaders cry too. They cry in hotel rooms. They cry in airport lounges. They cry in silent Uber rides. And let's stop pretending leaders. Let us normalize leaders who say, "I need help, I need rest, I need therapy." That is not weakness. That is wisdom. Now, let's talk about solutions, because all hope is not lost. Across Africa, we are beginning to reimagine work. Some companies are testing 4-day work weeks in Cairo and saw a 40% productivity spike. In South Africa, companies tying bonuses to employee well-being saw reduced turnover. In Kenya, a startup allowed staff to design their own job descriptions and their profits tripled. Innovation is not just in technology. Innovation is in human dignity. And even in Nigeria, I've seen companies offer mental health days, flexible schedules for single mothers, and full scholarship for their staff's children. These are not just good policies, they are good business. Communities in Accra are building co-ops that share income and childcare. And even governments are catching up. Kenya's Digital Skills Initiative is there, Rwanda's National Gig Platform is there, and Nigeria's new pension schemes for informal workers under the administration of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu are all testaments to how African leaders are reimagining work today. This shows that we are not waiting for the West. We are leading our own future by ourselves, because African workers don't just survive, they innovate, they inspire. And so today, 1st of May 2025, I want to speak directly to you, the cocoa farmer in Ekiti, the teacher in Soweto, the coder in Nairobi, the woman cleaning offices before dawn, the man running 2 jobs and still sending money to the village, the girl learning Python from a second-hand phone, the policymaker drafting labor bills with fire in your heart, the executive quietly crying from leadership fatigue, the CEO navigating transformation in uncertain times. I have one thing to say to you. We see you. We salute you, we need you, and this is for you. You are not invisible, you are not soft, you are not just a factor of production, you are the hands building tomorrow. And if tomorrow could speak to you, here's what tomorrow would say. Dear worker, I exist because of your courage. I glow because of your grit. I shine because of your resilience. I thrive because of your hope. I bloom because you buried seeds I may never know. So don't give up on me, because I will be worth the sweat. Thank you. Thank you for your hands. Thank you for your heart. And thank you for your unwavering humanity. And to every leader in Africa, let us honor the worker, not just with words, but with systems. Not just with ceremonies, but with sustainable change. Not just with campaigns, but with positive action. Because the world was not built in a day. It was built every day. Was built every day by the worker. This is Dr. Abiola Salami, the world-class performance strategist. Always remember, I love you, I believe in you, and I look forward to celebrating your greatness in the future. And in all that you do, keep rocking your world like a champion. Happy International Workers' Day.